Here.
Yeah, there is.
Oh, what
Good
about
morning,
the kiddos?
everybody. All
I'll just
right.
take this whole one then.
Alice, would you like to start the meeting?
Yes. Hello, everybody. Welcome. No young people today? Are
They're
they
out.
school? Huh?
And they're graduating today.
Is school done or today's
They
graduation?
are out of session. I mean, they're out of session for this. So,
Oh, okay. See, I don't have children. Okay, well, let's go ahead and start our meeting. And then maybe we'll have a few more people trickle in or.
I
not.
ran into Ron this morning. He will not be here
Okay.
and Julie was tentative.
Okay. All right, well, welcome. How about a quick celebration that it's June? What's fun for you in June?
No, the icebreaker that I'd like to implement today is I wrote it up on the board. Being this is Mary's last meeting,
Oh,
how about if we go around the room, share how long we have worked with Mary and what our favorite thing or things about Mary and working with her is. I'll start. I have had the absolute pleasure of working with the best boss ever in the history of any of my careers and probably my lifetime for the past almost 5 years. And I love about her are all of the great ideas, her silly nature, and just her undying and unwavering absolute support and encouragement for staff.
Very sweet. Thank you.
Top that, anybody?
Well,
Who would like to go next?
I'll go. Can you hear me? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, well, I don't think I can top that, but Mary, I have so appreciated your consistency and your leadership throughout. And I don't know how long I've been on this board, but I've enjoyed working with you. And I have always noticed that you have maintained this level of what we need to do and what works and what does not work, and always in the background encouraging. And I love that Shannon's been here 5 years. We went through a series of folks before that too, and there was always that stability because Mary knew what needed to be happening, and I so appreciate that. So good job. We're going to miss you tremendously and hope you're staying in the community.
Oh, yeah. I'm not going anywhere, but yeah, thank you.
Yes.
I told her to come back as our member of the public.
she was like,
I can top that one. I hope she come back for a member of LMCC.
Oh. Who'd like to go next?
Oh,
You're muted. Unmute yourself. There you go.
Okay. So even though I haven't had the pleasure of working for Mary, it sounds like I would love to work for Mary. Just like what Joyce said, I just kind of want to reiterate, Mary's always been just so solid. She lets me come up to her and ask things about Lakewood since I live in Lakewood, and I wish her the best. So excited that you're retiring. I'd like to join you in that at some point. But congratulations. You deserve it.
Thanks, Megan.
And I'll say 6 years is how long I've been with Communities and Schools of Lakewood, not quite as long on this board, but partnering with Mary, since I got here, really. And I was actually just talking about you the other day about how sad we are that you're retiring, because you know how to get things done. You know what's going to fly. You know what people's objections are going to be, and you know how to address them. And it is so useful to have not just like your ability to get things done, but like the way you know how people are going to perceive things so we can get things done. I love it. And you're invaluable and you're going to be missed, and you can come back. I'm sure there's a few nonprofits that would have you on their board of directors once you take your retirement break and then come back to be on a board or two.
Thanks. Thanks, Carrie.
Alice.
well, I have only known Mary for as long as I've been on this, which is what, less than a year.
About a year, yeah.
Actually, about a year. I
climbed
think
in right before the summit.
yeah, around May. So yeah. Oh, it's our anniversary.
Hi, happy anniversary.
Yeah, but what I do know is that, the same as what Carrie is saying, you do know how to get things done and it's nice. You know, it's really great to have competent people who like just say, oh, we do this, and you actually do it and follow through. So that will be sorely missed, and hopefully when you have taken your time off and then you come back and maybe mentor some young people so we can make more Marys. That's important.
Oh,
Thank you.
Good idea. Do we need more Marys?
yes, we do.
Yes.
Yes.
Mary.
Almost sounds like
Yeah.
somebody's gonna birth them.
Well, I've known Mary now for 16 years,
Yeah.
because you were here when I came onto the council. And I've always admired your energy. It's amazing, and it's contagious as well. But the one thing that I will miss about you is that your energy, so we're gonna miss you. Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
Thanks, for me as well. I love working with the city, but mostly the first thing that I've always said representing the city is it's so collaborative, everybody works together, everybody wants to make things work, and so bringing the right people together and just saying, let's go, and making sure that everybody has a purpose and has a reason to be successful, and it happens. And you don't have to start from scratch. You just really just walk up and say, hey, Carrie, hey, Joyce, or whoever, let's make it happen. How can you help us? And they do. And that's really a blessing for a community, right? It really makes things work a lot better. So thank you guys all for your participation and support and expertise, and just, being there for our community, especially the kids. But being there for our community, it's made things great. Easy for me and great for our community. So great.
How long's it been, Mary, that you've been with the city?
24 years.
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
so just about from the start, right? So we've
Oh,
grown
wow.
up together, right? Because I started as a mere child. Yeah.
2 years old.
So it's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of work, but great people and great community, and there's lots more to do. So, we all make our mark, and then there's lots of work for the next person. So
Well, I would just caution you, do not fail retirement like Mary Moss did.
oh yes, I won't be following in your footsteps.
That's like when you foster a dog and then you adopt it. They call it a foster fail.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, everybody. All right, Missy. Sorry, I didn't mean to hijack your agenda, but I saw you going somewhere else and I was like, wait, I got an icebreaker.
Yeah.
All right.
yeah. I don't even think any of us really
Nah.
like that. You can type it in this. All right, so I guess what we have is approval of our May meeting minutes.
Did everybody review them? I did. I have them right here. I
Oh,
distributed them
I did
before.
I did not review them.
I'll make a motion to approve the minute.
Second,
Who was that? I'm sorry. Was it? Oh, Joyce. Thank you. Okay.
All right, well, okay, it's been moved and seconded. Anybody want to say anything about the meeting minutes? No, all right, then all those in favor say aye.
I,
Yay. All and unanimous, so the ayes have it. Meeting minutes are approved. Thank you. Good, I should plan them too. Then the next new business, prepare for the June 16th presentation for the city council.
We have to ask for, even though nobody's here, we have to ask for public comment.
Oh, public comment. Oh, I didn't even see that. Okay. Any public comments? Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, now we can talk about the preparation for our council meeting. Presentation to the council.
So we have it on the 12th. Mary, I think I'm a little confused because we're so far forward. Are we?
So what happens, I mean, for this, so this is our work plan.
Yes.
And then there's another template that's actually the joint meeting document.
Yes.
So that shows, that's the one that you need to submit for the packet.
Yes.
And it talks about your accomplishments. So how we do it for the park board is we usually go in June. We usually kind of go June to June. And talk about
Okay.
the work you've done and then the work you'll do throughout the end of this year. That's
Okay.
typically how we do it for the accomplishments. So,
Okay,
you know, so it kind of started at the end of the last summit. And so you could kind of just talk about
Summit
developing.
to summit.
Yeah, summit to summit really
Okay,
is.
okay.
you know,
okay, that's
how
a
you
good way to
started,
think about it, yeah.
And because that's kind of the big finale, so.
Okay.
And then you'll talk about your accomplishments, which you'll list the summit and like the workshops that the kids did and some of the, maybe the meetings or the special trainings or the special presentations that they had. And then what the plan is for the remainder of the year for Lakewood's Promise. And that could be developing, you know, a lot of it will just be probably working with the new youth council to find out where you're going. And there may be other ways that you want to use Lakewood's Promise. You know, maybe even working, you know, a presentation on the opioid program that you are going to be developing with CSAB. That could be, you know, you guys have done joint meetings before. That could be a suggestion, or that's kind of how you do it.
Okay. So do we want to, first of all, Alice, you'll be presenting. Who else will be there to assist Alice in presenting? I think they like to see as many board members as we can muster up. So we
I
would,
think Carrie raised her hand.
Carrie,
I was asking a question. The agenda says the 16th. Sorry.
I'm sorry,
What day are we actually doing this? The 16th?
did I say the 12th? I'm sorry.
It's Monday the 16th.
Monday, the
Yeah.
16th. I'm sorry, I said the 12th. Monday, the
And they
16th.
start at 6 PM that night because it's they do a council meeting and then it goes into a study session, correct?
Yes.
I'm not going to be in town,
Okay.
so I won't be able to be there. One thing I'd like to add, if we can, something that's come up the last couple of times we've tried to plan events is transportation still. I know that that's, so like, I wonder if that's an area where we talk about challenges, but also maybe some recommendations of things that we're hearing from young people and things that we know in our community that would benefit young people is looking at transportation options.
I think
That's a great point. And I should have probably followed up with, most of you guys have done this many times, but how we've typically done it is the chair will start with introducing the board that's there, and hopefully there'll be as many members as possible. And if people can't be there, maybe they could Zoom in. She'll typically go over the accomplishments first. And then sometimes we hand it off to another person to do, here's the remainder of the work program. And then the next step is really an opportunity to have a dialogue with council. So Carrie, that's a great segue. So sometimes boards will ask them a question like, what do you think about this? Sometimes you can say, we've really worked hard on this and this, but transportation is a problem. You know, if it ends up being, you know, really finding the solution, but how do we pay for that solution? You know, Pierce Transit has done what they can. They're giving you free passes, but that might not work for what we're doing. Buses cost money. The school district isn't donating those. You know, how do we cover that expense? Those kinds of things. So, and then whatever else, you know, I think communications has continued to be a bit of a challenge. Maybe we're making progress on that, but what progress have we made? And then, you know, where are we going from there? So, so whatever you guys want to talk about, it's a good time just to either give council updates on your challenges or to ask about what are you thinking, because there's going to be, you know, several new council members starting in January, right? So, because you and the mayor, and are you the two that are going off? So we know we're going to have for sure 2 new council members. You know, sort of setting the tone for that. So.
Okay.
So that might be a time to talk about what are the big things that are.
Do we have any idea what transportation would cost if we were to try to cover it for the students from whatever time to the end? Do we have any idea what it would cost?
It kind of depends on what you need and how far you're going and what that is, right? Is it a bus? Is it 2 buses? Is it from here to there, or is it from here to there? No. It's based on mileage and hours.
Oh,
And method. I mean, like you said,
Yeah.
is there a van? But then you've got to realize that we as employees aren't able to drive the students, right? For insurance purposes. So then how do you kind of get over that?
Partners, yeah.
By
Or get
having,
new insurance.
Well, we don't have
Or-
insurance, it's risk management. I mean,
Yeah,
yeah, so
you'd have to have a parent sign a waiver that we
Yeah.
can shuttle the kid. So the question for transportation, is it just transportation for the whole city so that kids can go places, or to the events that we're putting on?
good question.
That's what I'd like to. When you say transportation, what do you mean by that, Carrie?
Oh, it comes up. I mean, I think it comes up every time we do anything. Is how are young people and families, people without cars, accessing that thing? So that could be the farmer's market or a specific individual event that we're planning.
Okay.
Yeah, and I know it's come up kind of recently, like how are we connecting people? And I think this is what's complex, is like it's not as easy as just hiring a bus, because where are you picking kids up from? I know we've tried doing that. If they're not in a centralized place, it's hard. But part of having young people feel included and involved and having events that are accessible is figuring out some sort of improved access to transportation to get there.
Okay.
So I would suggest that when we talk to the a board about it, or the council, that we have a plan for what we're going to ask for next year. You know, or if we don't know yet, we can say transportation has been a challenge, and by our fall, or for our next budget, we'll have a recommendation for you for some specific things of how we can begin to address that.
Yeah, Joyce, I think sometimes if we don't have the solution, it's like, can we have like a study? And to, kind of price out or view or see, where those pain points are. I think we kind of know where the pain points are, to Carrie's comment, but being able to just write it out and say, hey, it's these neighborhoods that tend to not have access. Bless you.
Excuse me.
So,
Um,
I like it. I like it.
Well, and you had 30 kids on the youth council, so to speak. I mean, you had
Yeah.
a big batch. That's a great focus group to talk about, where, map it out. Where are you coming from? Where are you going? How do you get there? What's your method? If all of them have a caring adult that drives them, then that's not going to help solve your problem. But there are a variety of kids there with a variety of situations that may help provide some information, and or asking them to gather information to bring to a focus group meeting.
Cool.
And maybe there's a planner or somebody from Pierce Transit, not so much that we're poking at them to solve the problem, but because they're experts in transportation and they do, assessments and focus groups, maybe they would just come in and help facilitate or ask the right questions, or even give some suggestions on how, you're not going to necessarily solve the problem, but maybe even just finding out what the problem really is. We know it's a problem, but really, how do you fine tune that so that you can't really come up with a solution unless you really have something to solve? So that might be a partnership that, again, if they don't think you're coming in to say you're going to be the one that saves the day, just utilizing some of that expertise that they have.
We had, over the last couple of years, I've, working with Tammy on Pierce Transit, and she's Apthorpe. We've had a couple people come in, and talk to them and kind of workshop it. And I don't know that the solutions have come out of it. We've talked about the shuttles, and really the solution that Pierce Transit comes back with was we've heard you, and now individual, youth ride free.
Right.
But it's still, and then the youth are like, well, a lot of youth aren't comfortable. So are there educational purpose, how do you educate them and make them feel safe to ride public transit?
Yeah, so part of it could be not so much that you're asking them to come in and solve a problem, but really help you identify what's the role of Lakewood's Promise, or what's the role of this to identify something that we could accomplish as
Okay.
opposed to, and maybe the role of this is not how to solve transportation with youth citywide. I mean, that could be a big effort, and this could be maybe a conduit for that, but what's Lakewood's Promise role in that, right? As from an advisory perspective, because Pierce Transit can talk all day about all the different resources they have. That's what they do. But I was just thinking more on, and Carrie, you're in the trenches every day with those kids. So, maybe that they have expertise that can just help us get to where we're at, as opposed to coming in and saying, this is how we can solve the problem with our organization.
Okay.
Because it's more than just Pierce Transit, right?
Yep.
How that might work.
I like that.
So I think of if we have things such as in Lakewood's Promise, and first I agree with going to the young people to identify what specifically should we be focusing on here. But if it were something like we're going to have van pools on Friday nights to get students, to the Friday night, late night things, or when we have something out in Tillicum, we're going to have vans running there and they're going to pick up in these primary locations. And what's that going to, so, that sort of thing. And to develop some specific things that we can make, instead of this huge thing, bring it down to events or activities that we can be getting transportation support for.
That's a good point. I was talking with a woman yesterday about a nonprofit organization, and she was talking about participation. And I was kind of providing some suggestions. And one of the things she was like, well, I tried that, in May and it didn't really work. I'm like, it's so brand new. You can't just say I tried it once. Nobody's used to it yet. Nobody knows this is a regular thing we're going to do now. So I like your idea, Joyce, about it's like, if you come up with something and it's consistent in some fashion, then kids start learning about it, knowing about it, trusting it, sharing it, as opposed to, like even for the summit, we tried it once and, we had empty buses driving around. Well, they just weren't familiar, comfortable, understanding. It wasn't consistent. So it was kind of a one-time special thing. So, I think that's part of it too, is how do you put it so it's easy and regular. You don't have to ask about it. It's like, oh yeah, don't forget you can get the van at the community center at 6 or 6:15 or whatever. So
One of my favorite things to say to, when I was reporting up was, hey, it's going to take time for something to sit. So it's going to take, a year or 2 years for things to sit, and we just have to invest in it because it takes time to build it, and then they will come.
yeah.
I think, yeah. So no, I think that's great.
Shannon, you had an aha moment. I just saw a light bulb go on over your head for a second. What was that?
Great, boss.
I'm thinking, how can we get youth council, other than giving, but is there like a campaign they can work on?
Yeah.
Something like that. But yeah, how can we get them, think about it regularly, maybe as a project that we work on next year, build out a campaign.
Yeah, Friday Night Lights, but it's like Friday Night Lights and it's like safe light to get to wherever you're gonna go. Something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Okay.
I almost think, holding a community conversation that's like an informal with youth, Pierce Transit, organizations that are experiencing transportation challenges, like it wouldn't have to be a huge formal thing for us to just get into the room together and actually talk about it. Not just us, but people with expertise around transportation, which is not me,
Right.
with young people, to just like have a brainstorming, like what is the challenge? What is the specific area, or maybe a couple of events that we want to focus on, and then what could be a solution.
Yeah.
And who are those groups out there that could participate? There are like churches, there are places that have bands and they want to do outreach, right? So maybe this is what they could pick. So just a way of I think that's great, putting all the right people and having one topic. Sometimes we get everybody in the room and we're going to talk about 5 things today, right? And so we're
Yeah.
kind of spreading
Yeah.
the peanut butter, but don't really, get to a solution. So that might be a great idea. And that could be something you share with council. We're looking at doing. What do they think? Because council loves getting involved, but they have to sort of know what they're doing and get asked, right? Because they've got
Mhm.
so many other things on the table. But and that was one of the things that was one of the things the youth council said at the end, and also our youth council members at the park board. They all said at the kickoff, having that informal meet and greet with the council where they just learned more about them, made them feel special and made them feel comfortable with people of authority that, we're very informal with our city council. So we think, oh my God, Mary's a deputy mayor, but we know Mary. And all of a sudden, it's like the kids are like, I met the mayor.
Yes.
And they're like, oh, and I'm like, it's Jason. What? He's wearing a
Yeah.
t-shirt. What? So, but we forget that that's really important in our community. And
They
sometimes we
tell
take it
us
for
that.
granted, but the kids do. Yeah.
They tell us that. We appreciate the
Yeah.
fact that you guys are just like
Yeah.
human beings.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
And we heard that from those kids. So I think that was a really good move on your part, Shannon, to bring that together and have that be a part of that kickoff. Because the kids really appreciate it.
You.
I will say that for the council, you have to let us know
Mhm.
and how we can participate. 'Cause
Yes.
we don't follow you guys
Yeah.
Yeah.
constantly.
Yes.
So just letting us know what's coming, what we can do to help, and then we can we can just let the students know that we're there for you, or we'll help them in the way we can.
So do we have access to the student council through the summer? And I'm wondering if we should be trying to be planning a transportation something. I know summer's a bad time to meet, but I'd hate to start next fall without kind of a plan of what we're going to be seeking. And also if there are budget implications, when do those need to be expressed?
So, I'll touch upon the first one and then Mary can, I mean, they're all busy. And I have access to them.
Mhm.
But you don't have.
But
enough.
I don't have enough. I mean, they all get so busy. I lost like 13 seniors who are going off to college. I did put out something yesterday. We are starting a youth academy. And they helped the city manager's office to kind of create this pilot program. And it's assumed, or it's suggested that the youth council be the students, and Michael Vargas, the assistant to the CM, wants like 8 to 10 students to participate from the youth council because they were there in the planning. And he wants them to help iron out the bugs. I sent out a call yesterday to all of them. I got 4 likes. I've just not gotten any jumping on board. And I say that I think right now it's a little early for me to ask them to do things because they're all exhausted, right? They're just kind of focusing on school. But I mean, I could put out the Ask Joyce. I always have access to them and see where we can go. I don't know. I don't know who I'll get, but I'll ask. It's all I can do. Yeah.
Yeah. And it might be we'd have a hard time getting others there too, during the summer. So, but if we identify the time that this needs to happen, then I think that that's important, in terms of if we are going to be bringing something to the council in the fall or whenever that might be to let them know a plan and a request that we have. Unless it's not going to be this year, maybe we spend next year planning it and then implement it the following. But I know that that's a long time in the life of a young person too, so that seems pretty far out.
Yeah, I think trying to plan something for the fall is good, but starting the planning this summer to get the people there. You're gonna have a whole pack of youth council that you could say on this day, this time, go. So that part, I think, is you're gonna have to wait till you get those kids in the room, and that'll be September. But I think getting some of the other organizations and agencies, which, if you're talking about the YMCA, if you're talking about the Boys and Girls Club, which those folks probably deal with this issue too. And then getting in touch with summer's crazy for them as well, but I think something in the fall would be great, but get the planning started this summer for it. The city doesn't have resources to put a new initiative out right now. I think the city is pretty tapped for this year's budget, which is a 2-year budget. But I think coming up with an action plan, then we can look for the resources to support it. And we've got lots of folks that support kids in our community. And so I think once there's something to support, whether it's financial or whatever that might be, that's when we look for the package. And it's probably not just gonna be the city. It could be the school district. They have resources for certain things and certain grants for certain types of activities. You know, Ron's been very supportive of kids. He used to have us start our late night program a half an hour early just so that we could feed them, right? Because he knew that there was this Department of Justice grant that would support food. So it's like if you start at 5:30, you know, then everybody gets a Subway sandwich, and so that was easy. So that kind of stuff. So, but yeah, it's not going to happen this summer.
We can plant seeds in the summer.
But
Yeah, we'll
yeah,
plant
I mean,
seeds
get the
in the
people
summer.
organized so you the day and time. Get
So we
it.
have a
It's
fall
gonna be a day and a time and a place, and then
Oh, no, I'm
get the
agreeing
people
with
there,
you. I'm
yeah.
just saying,
Yeah.
we're planting
100%.
seeds, yeah.
Planting seeds in the summer for a fall garden.
There you go. Mobile garden because it's
Okay.
about transportation.
Yeah, okay. So with this, so then I'll go through my past, documents, and then, so who, and I feel like before, because I have to turn in, if we're meeting on the
Next
16th,
Monday.
next Monday. Next Monday,
Mhm.
I gotta turn it in next Monday. Okay, all right, so between setting up for your party tomorrow and, okay. So again, Joyce?
I plan to be there on the 16th. I don't necessarily need to say anything, but I'll be there in support. And
Okay.
if you need me to do something, just tell me what it is. Yeah.
Okay.
So would you put together the PowerPoint presentation, Shannon?
It's not a PowerPoint.
Or whatever
Just
it
a
is?
script.
Yeah, it's just a script, yeah, and
Oh,
I'll
okay.
put it together. And then I'll work on that today and get that to you. I can get it out to Joyce and Alice by the end of today, tomorrow morning at the latest, for you to look at.
Yeah, I would say
Then-
that the work program part's gonna be easy, the joint page.
Yeah,
I think you could get the script going
the
next
script,
week.
yeah, okay, I got you, okay, yeah, and if, we can hop on a call or something like that, okay,
Yeah,
cool.
because they don't need that. They just need that
That's
one.
right.
It's just a one pager.
Yeah,
So you
I
can do
got that.
That's pretty simple.
I got that.
Because you won't be putting like the questions and answers and stuff on
Yeah.
there. You'll just be putting this, and then you'll guys come up with your script and it's nice to tag team a little bit, to have somebody
Absolutely.
say something. So
Mhm.
Joyce, she'll probably say something. She'll probably assign you to say something.
And I mean,
Or
it's so
ask.
casual because it's a joint meeting, so you're sitting around the table, you know, it's very casual.
Yeah.
Okay, good choice. We have, you want to move on down?
Shannon,
the-
I just
Yes.
added in the chat, if you want to send the draft, I'm happy to provide feedback or some additional
Okay.
bullet points for
Maybe
the
send it
script.
out to all of us.
Okay,
Send it
Yeah.
out to
the
all of
draft
us.
of the speaking or the draft of what I'm turning into council?
Everything.
I think
everything.
everything, but I think the speaking is what,
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, this
You know,
one
the-
page is pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
okay, cool, thank you.
And council will be asking questions, as you know,
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
to help you along.
Okay,
Well, that's nice. When we present at the Pierce County Council, we have to have a full-blown PowerPoint presentation. Okay, fantastic. So the next item, continue planning the sponsored summer youth event.
would you like to start the conversation about our meeting with?
Yes. Oh, my leg just fell asleep. Yes, so we had a conversation with, Clinton with, Your Money Matters, and a couple of the youth, council members, Elijah and Kasia were there. He pitched this, segment that he does, and it's pretty successful. The kids tend to really like it. It's interactive. You know, there are prizes, there's real life scenarios. Each young person gets a job, a family, whatever, and then they go around these tables and the adults try to sell them on things they don't need and sell them things that they do need. And it's very interactive, and the kids are buzzing around, and then they can find out, you know, how do they fall within budget? And, you know, one year I got hooked up with the part-time job table and I had all the young people at my table wanting a part-time job so they can buy more things and save up and whatnot. And so he pitched that to them and they really seemed to like it, as is. I know that Elijah had talked about Monopoly, but he was like, hey, I can see, you know, this sounds like it could be fun. And Clinton has like some prizes and maybe we can find some other prizes. Maybe a day with, you know, the mayor or something like that, or whatever entices them nowadays. So yeah, I thought it was quite positive. He's gonna give us like some sort of proposal for
Mhm.
cost. Did he send that to you?
No,
Okay.
and what it wouldn't cost for his time, but he basically said the food.
Mhm.
He gets prizes from, I mean, he gets donated prizes. He even has, he said he has a few laptops that he could, so it does, I mean, I'll have to look at the budget, but really food and other little things, but Clinton would do it, what his business does.
Oh, okay, cool,
Would
cool.
you do it like out of the pavilion?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, and so I have to check with Nikki to make sure that the 26th is,
Oh, you have a
or
date?
24th. Yeah, we said July 24th is what we had said during the last meeting, because we wanted to capitalize on the fact that we could advertise it at
Mhm.
Summerfest.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But one of the things that Elijah and Keisha were saying was the transportation to the pavilion was not as accessible.
Yep.
And so can we have, you know, have it in
It's
a
on the
different,
bus line.
is it on the bus
Yeah,
line?
Fort Silicon Park is on the, I mean, right now the roads are all screwed up, but there is, I mean, you have to walk from the entry gate to the
Yeah, that's
pavilion.
that's, I think they were talking about that.
No,
I don't want to
we all
be on the
struggle.
bus and get off
I
the
know.
bus to
Well,
the
you-
front door.
I used to walk 2 miles to and from school.
Well, those days are
Days.
gone. Those days are gone. Transportation means door to door.
Grief.
So that's
We
something
could have a
to
cookie stop
consider.
halfway through the walk from the
You
bus
know,
stop to
you
the
could actually put,
pavilion.
if you could, you know, with the red van with seats, you could actually take them in the red van, from the red van to the pavilion and back. You could do a shuttle back.
I
and forth
could?
right at the front. Yep.
Oh my gosh, can I get clear to drive that? I love driving the big van.
Well,
No?
we'd
Okay.
have to do some background checks on you,
Oh,
but
okay.
yeah, yeah,
Oh, I would love that.
that's easy. Or we get a
Man,
staff
my
person that's already insured. Yeah,
Huh?
we can do that.
Yay, okay. I got
Okay.
cleared when I was at 2CC, so.
So then I'm wondering if, I don't know, could we get Pierce Transit on board with, well, probably not. Hey, kiddos, we got an event on July 24th. You know, the bus line runs front, it's out at the pavilion and here are the convenient bus lines. I don't know, some sort of campaign where they could help us to get the word out.
They've done that before for Summerfest when they've had special things and they help put that information. So just work with your
I'll
transit
reach
person.
out to Tammy.
Talk to the mayor, he's on the board.
I don't know, talk to the people. I mean, that's good, the
Yeah.
mayor, but
But I
I'll
mean,
talk
he
to.
can
Yeah.
maneuver.
Oh, I got you. Okay. All
You
right.
need the elbow rubbing and the people who get things.
Yeah. Yeah, so
Cool.
yeah, so we had said July 24th, I remember that because it's my stepbrother's birthday. July 24th, capitalize on the marketing aspect on Summerfest. Let's see, I mean,
And
What
the
else about
pavilion
the-
is open, so have
I'm
you
gonna
reserved?
check with Nikki today. Yeah, I'm gonna check with Nikki today. It probably,
Thursday.
yeah.
And I would like, if you're a certain demographic, you're like, talk to the YMCA, talk to the Boys and Girls Club. They have teen programs, talk with the school district if there's any, you know, that, when's Leaders of Change? When are you doing that?
Oh,
Carrie?
yeah.
June 23rd through July 31st, and our presentations will be on the 31st. So
Would there be a way that those kids could come and do a financial workshop that day? Are you over at Clover Park High School?
we're gonna be at Harrison Prep for the first 3 weeks. That's where summer school is being held, and then the last 3 weeks we're gonna be at Clover Park High School. Are we thinking? And it's gonna be from 11:30 to 1 is our programming time
That's a
that day.
good, yeah, that's a good time because they did specify no crack of dawn 9
Maybe they
o'clock,
could do the
10
afternoon.
o'clock, yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
do an afternoon
Or
time.
we could do lunch, so we could do like, I don't know, noon to 3.
Mhm.
Well, if they're
Yeah.
going to
Mhm.
one,
Oh.
could it be something that you either do on that day for that one day, or is it, do you provide lunch for the kids?
Not for the last 3 weeks.
Okay, because it's school. Maybe you could either have it be that's just a built-in group, which is amazing.
Yeah,
But also it could be a good opportunity to partner with your new youth council, whoever. Or it could be the afternoon after that. If you're going till 1, maybe they get out at noon and you start at 1 to 4 or something. I don't know what your time frame is. for
Yeah.
this.
wait, July 24th, we're saying there's,
She's doing a
Oh,
youth
her-
leaders of
okay.
change, which
The
you've
Leaders
got
of Change program is
just
midday.
crazy.
Well,
yeah,
I think check the pavilion, and then I can also check to see that's getting close to like when presentations are for our
Okay.
Leaders of Change kids. So it might work better to have it right after that, and we can try to bring them all over. It's hard to skip a day when it's close to like them practicing their presentations because
I hear you.
they're nervous. But I think it could work to bring them all over. And we used to
Okay.
do financial literacy afterwards, and they all signed up for extra gift cards, you know.
So their families will be there that day too. Are they gonna want to stay? Is my question, or are they gonna want to be going and enjoying their accomplishment with their family?
They won't be actually presenting that day. They're presenting
Oh.
1 week from that day.
Okay, on the, are
The
we talking the
31st.
Okay,
Yep. Yep. Put it on your calendars. Thanks, Joyce.
yeah,
And I'll
The pe-
send out a calendar invite to or a little more
Okay.
information.
so the presentation is the 31st, or the presentation are the 7th?
The 31st.
Okay, good, all right.
I feel like he was saying 1 to 3 or something like that.
Yeah, 1 to 3. I think with youth, kind of the magic time is about 3 hours. If you're keeping them active and engaged, am I correct in that, Carrie? With all your working with youth?
I mean, 1 to 3, that's 2 hours, right? So,
Okay. I'm just,
and
I
then
know-
we serve them lunch.
yeah. Well, that's what
Yeah.
I was thinking. You said, well, you think 2 hours is too short?
No.
We add a third hour if they're doing
No.
activities like budgeting? Okay.
I would ask him what his length, I've done that program before too. You could do it like for 5 hours if you wanted, but you're not.
Oh,
gonna get
it's
those
long.
kids.
It can be
It's
long.
long.
We've asked her to do a condensed,
Yeah.
yeah,
The kids were like, 2 hours.
okay.
And mostly.
I think
you're
you'll
not
leave them
two to
wanting
three.
more.
Huh?
Yeah, leave
Yes,
them wanting
yes.
more and really planting
Ooh,
seeds
Who
for
cares?
them.
Yes, leave
Yeah,
them
for
wanting
sure.
more. I like that. Okay, so okay, all right. So a 2-hour time frame in the afternoon, right around lunch. So we can, yeah.
So they
Propose a
can
1 to
sleep in.
3.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay,
See if that's doable.
we have 12 minutes left. I feel like we kind of naturally, if we're done with that one, that we kind of naturally, with Carrie announcing the presentations, moved into board member updates.
Yay, okay. Board member updates and highlights?
Okay, wait, hold on. Leaders of Change is presentations is the 30th.
Thursday, the 31st of July.
Okay.
And I'll be sending an email out soon to, as a reminder, Leaders of Change is a student-led, research-based community research kind of summer program. And so they will be doing research on a variety of topics that we don't know what they are yet. So
Ooh.
what I'll be doing soon is sending out just kind of a save the date for our community experts in the room. So that when we know what their topics are, we can invite you kind of last minute and you have that date reserved on your calendar. And so I'll be sending, we're kind of finalizing the program plans now. So we'll figure out what the date is that we want you to save the dates. And then we'll have some community experts kind of go through and be interviewed by our students so that they can get more information from community members. So
Oh, I
yeah,
love
we're
that.
excited to do it again this year. Yeah.
God, I hope they choose human services. Yay. I want to talk to them.
And they have done transportation in the past, so that was before we had free youth transportation, so we'll see what.
But
what
but
comes
that
up.
would be a good follow-up to, now we have this free transportation. I mean, that would be a great topic.
Yeah.
Because that could be a feeder program for your program in the fall. You know, absolutely.
Yeah, I like that.
Free labor, because that's always amazing.
Any other board updates? Joyce or Megan? Uh-oh. Oh, everything's okay.
Yeah. All
What you
right,
got,
so
Joyce?
graduation is next Tuesday, and we have highest graduation folks going across the stage that we've had for a long time, and maybe record for us, so we're excited about that. And one thing that's exciting for us is that for summer quarter, we'll have a group of, I think, 60 to 80, and how it runs out, I'm not really sure yet, but 60 or 80 students from Clover Park School District will be coming for Summer Running Start, a specific program that we work together with Tim. I can't think of Tim's last name all of a sudden, but to develop in some specific areas. One is manufacturing, and students will come away with specific certificates, job ready certificates, and it'll count towards their education in high school too. So we're excited about that this summer, and Clover Park and Clover Park High School have been working together to really encourage and make this possible for their students. So
That's all.
Is that a first time, Joyce, for a summer running start program?
we had a summer running start program last year as well, but this one is different, and that's going on our institution. But this one's different in that we worked with Tim, and he was out in the career and technical programs and working with students, and they brought them on campus this spring, and they signed up, and so it's a real concerted effort together to develop
That's
that connection.
so great.
And then the students can go on into programs following that. They're things that is the beginning of a pathway.
That's so great.
Yeah. And we have completed this year of having fourth graders on campus.
Oh.
They've been coming on Fridays. All of the fourth grade classes within the school district have been in our manufacturing building, taking some STEM emphasis just that one day. Somebody from the high school, has been hired to do this for the fourth graders, and it's been
Wow.
a cool
That's,
experience to have them on campus too.
Nice, nice.
See them all with their backpacks. They're like, we're at college.
I know, that's so cute.
That's so cute.
How great to make it not feel scary,
Yeah.
right? Just feel like, oh, this
Yeah.
is where I go. This is what I do.
Oh,
That's really great. Fourth graders.
Yeah,
Awesome.
and Clover Park School District has just been really good at, Tim and Brian have been working with Tom Broxson on our campus to develop some good programs together.
That's awesome. Congratulations, Joyce.
Thank you.
that's great. Mary Moss, what's council up to these days?
Council's really busy working with selecting a new city manager. Although it's important, we're not excited about it because we don't want to lose John. No, John has been awesome. So we're working at new city manager, and there's some dates coming up for the public to meet the candidates. I think we start interviewing next week.
Yeah, the public forum is next Tuesday from 7 to 9.
Yeah. So that's going to be open to the public. And then there's a staff date scheduled for staff to meet the candidates. What else is going? Oh, and yeah, election time is upon us. And so we're anxiously waiting to see through the primaries to see where we're headed. So we've had some good candidates lined up, coming from the planning commission. They're already ahead of the game with knowing what's going on in the city. So we're excited about that. Gives me a little more at ease of leaving.
Mhm.
So other than that, that's what's keeping us busy right now.
Okay. Miss Alice.
I have something to share, but I think I have to share it after this meeting. right?
What do you mean?
A campaign.
Oh, yeah, after
Yeah,
this meeting.
okay.
So,
Never mind.
so if you can stay for like a few minutes then.
Do you have any business to share for board updates before we? All
No, not really.
right. We can, we have 5 minutes left in the meeting. Does anybody? Mary Dodsworth, did you want to share any board updates on your end other than what was shared earlier?
No, my last day is Friday the 13th. I think they're gonna have a little meet and greet on Thursday from 9 to 11. So if you want to stop in and say, hey, that'd be great. We are having a barn. Those of you, this has nothing to do with, but the city's been working on designs for the barn at Fort Silicon Park. And so we're going to be doing an open house in conjunction with the farmers market. Farmers market started on Tuesday and it'll go throughout the summer every Tuesday from 2 to 7. So we're going to piggyback on that because there were thousands of people out there on Tuesday. It was a beautiful day, beautiful market. So we'll have a barn open house from 3 to 6. And you can come see like some of the renderings and the designs and how it could be used for generational, multi-use, kind of a community center besides, amazing resource in the park. And then the concerts in the park start on Tuesday nights the week after. So that's 17th, I think. So yeah, fun summer. Summerfest is July 19th. So you should make sure you have a booth there. All of our partners are usually welcome, and it's a great way to get your word out to thousands and thousands and thousands of people. And so I think that's about it.
When did you say the open house with the barn is? Is that next
It's
Tuesday?
on June 10th, Tuesday, June 10th from
Okay.
3 to 6.
Oh.
And it'll be in conjunction with the market. So you go to the market, get some flowers, eat some food, come look at those things. And then,
Man, June 10th is busy because
Oh.
that's when we have the CM interviews.
yeah, we have the public safety's doing a public safety academy that starts that night. Yeah, so everything's
Okay.
happening that day.
I missed the first day of farmer's market because I was in a meeting
Oh, yeah.
and then I was exhausted.
Yeah,
But I heard all the things.
yeah, it was great. So we'll come next week.
I will.
Yeah, if you have time. And then you could come look at the barn. You're gonna get a briefing on Monday night. So
Okay.
we've given you your own briefing. Your own open house. We're also starting, I should also throw, we're also starting the legacy plan, which is our Parks and Rec open space plan. We're starting the community engagement. So Devi and Chris and an intern we have, Angel, are going to be doing pop-ups at neighborhood associations and farmers market and Summerfest, just talking about, the park plan. What are people looking for? What kind of programs? Where are the gaps? What do people want to see in the community? So regarding parks and recreation. So if you see that, stick your post-it on that so we can get your feedback.
Ooh, how long are you looking to have that public input? Would this
They'll-
expand to the next year
Oh,
to where
yeah.
they can present to youth
Oh,
council?
100%. That would be a
Okay.
focus group that they would for
Okay.
sure do. So put them at the beginning because we'll be
Okay.
doing that into early September. So
Okay,
yeah, for sure you'll want to be a part of that. I'm sure Debbie will talk to you about that.
okay, good. And I'd like to get them on my, on our community collaboration as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah, love it.
okay.
Are you meeting all
Mary-
summer?
Yeah.
What's the plan for your position? Is there going to be anybody in there in an interim role as they look for somebody else, or has that been determined yet?
Well, there's, it hasn't officially been determined yet, but I mean, someone will be there just keeping things busy for the next 2 months. But the idea is once a city manager's selected, which hopefully they'll know by the end of June, kind of who they want. And then, the new city manager should be picking their park and rec director. So, so they'll start looking at that once they determine who that city manager is. But yeah. So somebody will be, everybody knows what they're doing. It's a busy summer, so I'm sure probably announce as soon as I'm gone, whoever the interim, we'll talk about it with our.
Okay.
So.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Ooh, exciting. Anything else? For the good of the order?
Cry twice in a week.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Shane. That was no fun. All right, then I guess we can adjourn.
So you can just stop the YouTube and then if they want to stay on and listen.
Okay.
Do you want to stay on in here? No. We went,